From the late 8th century to the mid-11th century, the period known in history books as the Viking Age shaped much of Europe. During these centuries, Vikings became the nightmare of coastal communities, launching raids across vast regions. These seafaring warriors did not merely plunder, they fundamentally altered the political and cultural balance of the lands they touched. Yet there is a question many people still wonder about. How did the Vikings, who worshipped pagan gods, come to embrace Christianity? To answer this, we first need to take a brief journey into the Viking belief system. The Vikings followed Norse paganism. They worshipped many gods, such as Odin, Thor, Loki, and Frey, with Odin regarded as the highest among them. Worship was directed not only toward the gods, but also toward ancestral spirits. Nature, war, and fate lay at the heart of this belief system. So how did such a deeply rooted faith begin to change? Poor agricultural conditions in Scandinavia and a growing population pushed the Vikings toward overseas expeditions. This inevitably brought them into contact with Christian societies. One of the most striking early examples of this contact occurred in 793 when Vikings raided the Lindisfarne Monastery in England, an event often seen as the symbolic beginning of the Viking Age. Monasteries and churches were rich in valuables, yet poorly defended, making them highly attractive targets. Over time, these encounters went beyond simple raids. Trade, diplomacy, and political alliances began to take shape. By the 9th century, a dynastic conflict in Denmark set off a chain of events that would change the religious fate of Scandinavia. A Viking noble named Harald, seeking support in a struggle for the throne, gained the backing of the Frankish emperor. In return, he was baptized and accepted Christianity. Other Viking nobles, eager to protect their own interests, soon followed his example. This development opened the door for Christian missionaries. Missionary activity expanded across Denmark and Sweden in particular, though the process was far from peaceful. Many Viking leaders adopted Christianity for purely political reasons. For example, the Danish leader Guthrum converted after being defeated by the English king Alfred, securing the right to rule certain territories. Similarly, Rollo, the Duke of Normandy, accepted Christianity through an agreement with the King of France. Another key figure in the spread of Christianity was Harald Bluetooth. After his conversion, churches were built across Denmark, and the new faith began spreading into Norway and Sweden. In Norway, King Olaf employed some of the harshest methods to impose Christianity. Those who refused to abandon pagan beliefs were exiled, tortured, or killed. Pagan temples were destroyed and replaced with churches. These forceful policies extended as far as Iceland and Greenland. Iceland, heavily dependent on trade with Norway, eventually accepted Christianity under economic pressure. However, in Greenland, conversion occurred more slowly and largely through voluntary means. A central figure in this process was the famous explorer Leif Erikson. In Sweden, Christianity arrived later and in a more moderate form. The first Christian king of Sweden, Olaf, chose to lead by example rather than by force. This approach proved more effective in the long run. By the 11th century, Cnut the Great emerged as a dominant ruler, creating a vast kingdom that included England, Denmark, and Norway. Cnut actively supported the spread of Christianity by building churches and protecting missionary efforts. Across Scandinavia, Christianity generally spread from the top down. Kings converted first, followed by nobles, and finally the common people. This transition was gradual. For a long time, pagan rituals and Christian beliefs coexisted. People attended church while still offering sacrifices to the old gods, hoping to not anger them. In conclusion, the Christianization of the Vikings was a result of a complex mix of missionary work, political interests, warfare, trade, and cultural interaction. By the 12th century, paganism had largely faded from Scandinavia. If you found this narrative useful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Do you think the Vikings truly embraced Christianity, or was it mainly a political necessity? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them.